Welcome to the structural analysis class. So this is lecture 9 and last class we have started analysis of trusses. So last class we have seen how to calculate the indeterminacy and the stability of a truss. So today we'll discuss about the method of joints basically to analyze a structure or to analyze a truss. So what is method of joint? So method of joint is nothing but we'll consider each joint on a truss. So one by one joint will consider and all what are the, so for example here this is a simple truss, right? A triangular truss is a simple truss, and uh, that 500 Newton is acting here. Then, and one more thing you notice that whenever we give any load in a truss, that load is always on a joint, not in a member. Because if you give load in a member, then what will happen? It will create a bending moment, but all the joints are actually pin joints, so it cannot take moments. So that is the difficulty. So that's why in truss always loads are acting at a joint, not in the mid center of the bar. So now if you see, uh, for analyzing method of joint, what we'll do is we'll take one by one joint in each time. So at the beginning, first we'll take this joint, then we'll find out all the forces, then we'll take next joint. Like that, the analysis of truss using method of joint will progress. So, so which joint will take first, where you have the maximum known forces. So now each joint, as I discussed in the last class, so each joints are basically pin joint. So pin joint means it has two reactions. One is summation of all the horizontal forces equal to 0, and another is summation of all vertical forces equal to 0. So you have basically two equations for each joint. So just using these two equilibrium of equations, we can actually solve or we can calculate the unknown forces. So we'll take each joint and then we draw the free body diagram. So FBD. So we draw FBD and then we use these equilibrium of equations of each joint and then we'll try to compute the reactions. So like that, and all the joints has to be taken and then we can actually get the all the unknown values. So now what is the procedure for here? First is draw a free body diagram. So this is very much important. So you have to draw first free body diagram with at least one force where you have known. So that you have to take it. Next is use one of the two methods previously described in the sense of unknown force. That is, first we'll do method of joint. Then we apply equilibrium equation summation of x and summation of y in that joint should be equal to 0. So we apply that and then we calculate using these two equations. So maximum we can solve is two unknowns because we have two equivalent equations. So two unknowns we can solve in each joint. So like that it will continue. So let's solve a quick examples to identify exactly how the process works. So this is an industrial building truss. If you see the left side, so this one is an industrial building truss, and we have made an analytical model. This one, and this is the figure. If you see, so determine the forces in each member of the roof truss as shown in the photo. The dimension and the loading are shown also. Dimension and loading are also given. So where the members are, so you have to find out whether what is the reactions and what is the axial force on each bar. So that is our question. So how to solve this? So our first procedure will be take one by one joint and we draw the free body diagram and then we apply equilibrium of equations and then we get our required unknown values. So now for example, now which joint shall I start first? This joint or this joint or this joint? So which joint shall I do first? So we know that we have actually two equations, summation of all horizontal force equal to 0, summation of all vertical force equal to 0. So ideally we have only two equations. So we have to take joints, we have to select joints like that where not more than two unknowns are available. So for example, if you consider this joint, if we take this joint, then we have unknown in this bar, we don't know what is the force in this bar, we don't know what is the force in this bar, we don't know what is the force in this bar, we don't know what is this. So here you can see there are four unknowns. Now if you take this joint, So there are three, 1, 2, 3, all values we don't know. So 3 unknown, so we cannot solve. So which direction we have to go? So we have to go either this one or this one. Why? Because already external loads are given to you. So using external loads, first we compute what is the support reaction. So once we know the support reactions, then here we know force, then we are known as this bar member, this bar member. So we can use equilibrium equation, these two, and we can compute all the two bars force. Now similarly, if you take this joint also as the first joint, here also two unknowns are there, this unknown and this bars unknown. So either you can start with this joint or you can start with this joint. So we have considered our first joint A. Joint A, so we'll use now summation of all the horizontal forces about A should be equal to 0, and summation of all the vertical forces about A should be equal to 0. So these two we'll use, so these two equations we'll use for first joint, and then we'll compute. So first we'll consider summation of all vertical forces. How many vertical forces are acting? 4 kilonewton acting upward, and FAG's vertical component will be FAG into sin theta. So FAG into sin 30, we just substitute here, we'll get it AG value. Now again you apply summation of all horizontal forces equal to 0. Then we have, what are the horizontal forces here? We have FAB, which is FAB is acting towards this side, and we have FAG's horizontal component, will be basically FAG's cos theta. So AG already we computed 8, so just substitute this value here, and then we got FAB and FAG, both we computed. Now we consider joint G. So joint G, this is our axis now, inclined axis, x and y. So we apply summation of all the y equal to 0 and summation of all x equal to 0. So first summation of all y equal to 0. How many forces are acting? So 3 is acting, 3 kilonewton here, 3 kilonewton is acting. So that is acting inclined with the y-axis. So what will be the y-axis? That will be 3 cos 30 degree. So that's what we have used. So 3 cos 30 degree is one horizontal force, one y direction, and then this FGBs also have a vertical component. So that will be FGB sine 60 degree. So FGB sine 60 degree. So from this equation, we can calculate what is FG. Now we apply for the horizontal component to calculate another unknown force, that is FGF. So these components, so all the, what are the components horizontally acting? 8. So that's why 8 is there, and 3 kilonewtons horizontal component will be 3 sin theta, and FG is anyway there, and then FGB also has a horizontal component, which will be FGB into cos theta. Then substitute FGB value and you will get FGF values 5 kilonewton. Similarly, same process will continue for next joint B. Same summation of all the forces equal to 0. Now you know many forces, right? So just same thing, we use these two equations, summation of all vertical force, summation of all horizontal force equal to 0, and simple calculation, we get other members force as well. So like that method of joints, we can solve all the members and the reaction force in a truss. So what we have to do is we have to take one by one joint sequentially, and then we use two equilibrium equations, summation of all horizontal forces equal to 0, summation of all vertical forces equal to 0, and then we compute the unknown forces. So in each bar, so in if you consider a truss, so each bar, so so each bar has either tension force or maybe compression force. So either any of these axial forces will be there that we have to compute. Okay, so thank you. Next class we'll discuss another method of analysis of truss.